Welcome back, Mojo Sports, episode 56. And this was one of the best sports weekends we've ever had, maybe. I'll go ahead and say it. But, Joe, I think Phil Mickelson actually played this whole thing perfectly. He picked the perfect weekend to be a bad guy. He was a
Yeah,
bad guy this week.
so I didn't see this story.
So basically, he has this course that he plays at all the time. It's
Oh,
like his home course.
I did see the story, yep,
And
yep,
then he ends up he's golfing and they go meet him on like the sixth tee box and they basically tell him pack his stuff, you're done here.
yep,
Sounds like he was sexually harassing a worker, an employee.
yep,
Doesn't sound like this is the first time either. It sounds like maybe they had talked about this, but you got to be doing something bad
yep,
if the course that you're spending all of your money at and you're a Hall of Fame golfer is walking out in the middle of your round and kicking you off and banning you. Like
yeah,
something happened.
yep. Yeah, no, it's tough luck. Hit him with the Mr. Brunson is what he did.
Yeah, and we'll get to that. We're definitely gonna talk about that. But yeah, honestly, sharp play by Phil
Yeah,
doing it this weekend
'cause
with the White House, the World Cup,
who gives a
finals.
fuck at this point? Yeah, that's, a bad guy though, apparently. Yeah, not great.
Bad guy. I don't did that shock you?
No, no. Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah, it's kinda
It was on brand.
yeah, it's like Tiger getting another DUI.
Right. Oh yeah, we were texting about this. I think you said they're going band for band right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. I just forgot because there was so much other awesome stuff this weekend. It just escaped my memory that this happened. But yeah, he's doesn't want to get shown up, so he had to say, "Hey, what's worse than a DUI? Well, probably sexual harassment."
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably get some flack for this, but at least Tiger, he commits like fun crimes.
Yeah,
If
and
that
nobody
if you can
gets
say
hurt
that.
yet. At least
Only
yet.
him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean, he's banged up a little bit, but yeah, with Phil, he just seems like an actual bad guy. Tiger, you're just, hey, you're partying, you're enjoying life. That's what kings do.
Is that is that what we're calling just taking like prescription downers now? Just partying by himself in the car.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean,
yeah,
he's probably done it all, and
yeah,
that's what he
no,
settled on, right?
yeah. He's past the age now of ripping bag, and he's like, hey, I'm getting a little older now. Let's just settle down with some perks while I'm cruising at 30.
I always heard rock stars, they get so many women in their 20s. By their 30s, they start looking for other options.
Mm,
They gotta see what else is out there, you
yep,
know? That's what Tiger reminds me of,
yeah,
except with prescription drugs.
yeah. Instead of switch hitting, he's just switching drugs of choice. That's fine. He has enough injuries to both these guys can, the best part about it is
Prescribed.
they can stop, They can just not do that and ride off into the sunset. Nobody will remember.
No. So, that's Phil Mickelson back in the news. He might slip past ESPN, Bleacher Report. He's not slipping past Mojo.
No, he's got all-time scumbag glasses too, always. Like his
Yeah,
sunglasses, all-time scumbag
the
glasses.
graphic they posted
Yeah.
of him, yeah, you're just like, he's final evolution douche.
Yeah.
And I used to love Phil. He's a lefty. I'm a
I
lefty.
know.
He's the goat at chipping, and
Yeah.
that's where I like my game is chipping. So I used to grow up watching Arizona State Sun Devil.
Yeah.
I mean, if you weren't rooting for Tiger, you had to have someone else, and really Phil felt like the only realistic option for a long time.
Yeah.
So
Fig
yeah.
Jam, right? Fuck, I'm good. Just ask me. Pretty sure that's his
What's
thing.
That's his thing? I've never heard that.
I don't know if it's his actual thing, but I've heard that through the wire. Fig Jam. Fuck,
Fig
I'm good.
jam.
Just ask me. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that one took me a while, but I'm gonna use it once this week. That's my goal. Goal of the week. Fig jam.
All you out there, just put it in a Teams message to your boss or something. They'll never see it
Yeah,
coming.
yeah. Until they look at Urban Dictionary, and then you're fired.
Yeah.
Um, other news today, we got a lot of sports to cover from this past weekend. We're definitely diving into the White House. Definitely diving into the NBA Finals, even though at this point it feels like eons ago. It really
Mhm.
does because of how much we had. We'll talk about NHL finals, probably the snooziest one out of them all. And then we'll end with World Cup talk. But Joe, before we get into any of that, we had a bomb get dropped a couple hours ago. The Brendan Sorsby saga continues. He is now going to the NFL after
Yeah.
all of this. After everything, Texas Tech bringing in governors, bringing in lawyers and judges, all for him to get reinstated, and he does. And now he's just gone to the supplemental draft, which, do you know how the supplemental draft works, Joe?
Nope. They don't
I don't
always
think
do it, right? Like, it's not an every year thing.
I don't know about that. I think they might. I think you just never hear about it because of the way it's set up,
Okay.
which I don't think a lot of people know what goes on with it. Essentially, they run it like a normal draft. There's no order. And for the first round, if you have the first overall pick, they go, do you want anyone? And if you say yes, that means that you give up your first round pick next year.
Mm,
So a lot of teams are not willing to go pick up some guy that went undrafted to give up their first round pick next year.
right.
So basically, every team passes in the first round, every team passes in the second round. Later rounds, though, you might see some where they're like, okay, we want to take this guy, we'll forfeit. This is a special occasion where you have a guy that is highly touted and they think he'll probably go in the second round. So a team is likely going to give up their second round pick, and it'll be the highest. If he did go in the second, it'd be the highest supplemental draft pick ever.
Do a lot of is this like where sometimes they'll pick up foreign, like European and other countries guys? Like sometimes they pick up some international guys here, right?
I could see that. Yeah. If you'd missed him in the draft process, that's kind of the weird thing is if you just drafted the guy originally, you wouldn't have to worry about giving up another pick.
Right.
So
There's also another thing too that I don't even know how it works totally, but I don't think a lot of people realize it's there. There's some like bridge program. A bridge program is maybe the wrong word for it, but like you can have a guy from another country who's basically coming to learn about football that like has a chance to make it. And he doesn't count as like a roster spot, I don't think. I think he's technically like part of the practice squad type thing, but it's a separate count.
mm,
And sometimes it works out. Like I know the Seahawks had a guy who ended up actually like playing a little bit and they picked him up through like that. It's like a foreign exchange program essentially for the NFL teams. But yeah, I thought that was more supplemental draft, but maybe that's a separate thing.
yeah, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I'll look it up. I can't remember the name of it, but a lot of teams will have like one foreign guy, and basically it's like a foreign exchange student staying at your house for the summer, and it's like, hey, maybe this guy works out.
Grow the game.
Yeah, or they sleep with your daughter while he's staying at your house. You know, either one, either one.
Yeah, yeah. Just some athletic freak from across the world. Yeah.
Some great looking
Uh,
like Swedish dude, Legolas, just perfect safety, you know. So you might find someone.
yeah, I think I feel like D line is the best
Yep,
international spot because
yep.
even when we were in college, the guys you stick there, they really don't need to know the rules.
Nah, run
They
straight,
just,
plug a hole.
yeah, pin your ears back,
Yep,
go get them.
yep.
What was your take on the whole Sorsby thing? I mean, do you think this was a good move, bad move? To me, it just feels like the whole thing got dumber by the hour.
Yeah, no, forced into this, I feel like, by bullied into it a little bit. Because if he would have played, it would have just been bad for the university and him, I think. It wouldn't have been a good situation.
Bullying's back.
Yeah, the video that I sent you, and I don't know if you watched the whole thing because it was like 25 minutes, but the university, Texas Tech University tripling down on this whole thing with the university president, the AD, the mental health student services AD, the AD for external affairs, and then like the head football coach, all at a round table explaining why this was like a good thing for the student athlete, how they're helping him, and blah, 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 all without kind of like talking about it really. They're just beating around the bush for 20 minutes and how it was about his mental health. So, like, I think they were all in, and then they kind of saw the backlash from that, plus just the announcement in general, and were like, hey, maybe this isn't great. And even in that interview, the head coach was talking about how his parents called him and were like, hey, we didn't want this. Like, is this okay for you guys? So I feel like it just became a part where both of them were just like, yeah, this isn't going to help anybody. And he wasn't going to play well There's no way you can play well with that type of pressure unless he's just like the ultimate villain. I think some guys wouldn't mind that. They'd kind of embrace that like heel thing, but he just doesn't seem like that type of guy. So I think it's a good move. But the whole thing, it was a circus, a waste of our time. But very entertaining for a couple weeks.
I just can't believe that it's not gonna hurt his draft stock
I
at
know,
all. That's
but
so weird to me.
we saw, Phil Rivers come back and play QB, so clearly teams are desperate to have a guy, So if he can at least be a 2-3 option, maybe even a practice squad guy for a little bit, clearly teams there's a lack of quarterbacks somewhere.
Yeah.
Just
It
Cleveland,
sounds
just add him to Cleveland, like
yeah, just
70.
give him a 7th mid quarterback.
It's just the most problematic QB room in the in the country.
It's gonna be interesting to see where he goes,
I
though.
know,
I mean,
yeah.
somebody's gonna take the chance,
I feel like
and
it'll be a splash for, like, 2 weeks. We will talk about it. Nobody will care, and then he'll come in and, like, some random game as, like, a 3rd string backup where everybody got hurt, and we'll be like, "Hey, remember when he, like, gambled on his own team in college? That was sick."
yeah, because I'm not that big on him, to be
No,
honest, right? Like,
yeah. This was
if
the
he
year
would've
to
balled
prove
out
it.
this year,
Exactly.
right,
Yep, yep.
bingo.
And he would've, 'cause their schedule's weak as fuck.
Yeah, he would've. I mean, I was smart by him to
I know.
even wanna go there in the first place.
It might have been just a play this whole time. Get his name back in the news and then be like, "Hey, remember me?"
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We definitely do now. The name carries weight.
Yeah.
It also sounds like they're still gonna pay him. They're not gonna seek any of the money back that they've already paid him
Disgusting.
from Texas
That's
Tech.
disgusting. I
That's what
mean,
I'm saying, that he's just winning.
I could have done that. Why didn't I do that?
Maybe
Except
this is why the
nobody would
NFL
have
teams
offered me
love him.
5,000,000 to start with, but either way,
I mean, this could be a good thing for NFL because the guy's a winner.
apparently. Yeah.
The only thing he was losing on was his bets,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
everything else he won in court. I mean, he wins the money. He screws Cincinnati. He screws Texas Tech. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, good things happen to good people. Everybody
Exactly.
remember that.
That's
All
what I
right.
always say.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on X. The world keeps proving it right,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah. Well, we'll have to see, but I'm with you. I don't think his name's going to pop up too much
No.
for a little while.
It's over. Who
Yeah.
gives a fuck? At this point, who gives a fuck? Like, if he makes it great, good for him, but I
Texas
don't.
Tech, though, no quarterback.
I
They're
know,
kind of
yeah.
screwed.
I'm waiting for is there a late transfer window? Let's get Patrick McCondo's Raiola. Let's complete the prophecy. Moore's back at Oregon. He's not gonna sit a year coming off an ACL. Sounds like a perfect little late window tampering action. Texas Tech clearly not above that sort of thing. They
Absolutely
showed they
not.
have no ethics, so let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get him in that Patrick Mahomes jersey.
I'm down. Well, Joe, last night we had what people had called the biggest sporting event of all time. That's how it was branded. Keyword branded. But it was a spectacle. It
Yeah,
was
absolute circus.
something. I was talking to a buddy and we were both saying it felt like in a video game,
Yep,
like a fighting video game where you're like, oh, you pick the White House map
yep,
and there's just a White House behind you. You're like, this would never happen.
yep.
And fast forward, we're watching it. Crazy. The
Insane.
aesthetics of it just jaw dropping. No matter what side you're on politically, whatever, we can argue that it's not the right time for it, things like that. But just being a bystander and seeing the actual view of the White House and the entrances, it was awesome. It
Yep.
really was. From a sports fan, it was awesome. And the way that it ended with Gaethje going and beating Taporia as a big underdog all week, I talked about
You
why
did.
are we
You called it,
sacrificing an
yeah,
American?
yeah. No,
We're
you said though.
sacrificing
You
him.
said I'm gonna stop you there because you kinda said that was a great
I
call
did
by
say
you.
I did say there's value on Gaethje
Yep,
at that price. The
yep,
price was overblown,
yep,
but at the same time, I still thought, he's going to lose majority of the time if they fight 1,000 times.
And he almost did.
And he totally almost did. I still think Taporia could have finished him in the second round,
Yep.
but he got fancy. He got cute.
Got
He
on
went
top
for the
of him.
armbar.
Yep, yep,
Yeah. I think if he just rains elbows down there,
yep.
but
He was
at the
done.
same time, I think Taporia might have been tired.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
because he got to mount and he just kind of sat there for a little bit. And I was like, dude, this is the time to start letting it rain. I think he was gassed.
Well, based on everything, like pre-fight and just kind of his mentality, he had the dinner. He has the dinners before where he says, "Hey, I won the fight already. This is celebratory." I don't think he trained for 5 rounds. Like, I think he's that cocky of a dude where it's like, "Hey, this is gonna be, 2 at most. Like, I'm not gonna need more than 2." And then it
Yeah.
kinda gets past 2, and it's like, "Oh, shit, we got a war." But, yeah, what a yeah, this whole thing kinda capped. We're talking about how it was the greatest sports weekend of all time. I was thinking to myself that same thing. Like, as I was about to go run errands and do stuff, I didn't think I'd be glued to my TV that much because I didn't really pencil it down. But like between the World Cup, the finals, the Stanley Cup, like, and then to cap it off with this, like America had a lot going on, within the borders this week because there was, I mean,
Yeah.
everything was happening. Basically, every sport that's out there was kind of being played, and it was just unbelievable. The whole time was I just kept thinking about all the different cities, where shit's going on. Every World Cup game was packed. The streets were all packed with Europeans running around. Then we get people in the white. Yeah, just an all time weekend. And to cap it off with that, you're right. It's a that is gonna be in the video game. You're gonna be able to play like in UFC. You're for sure gonna be able to play like at the White House, and it's gonna be so sick.
And I think it probably goes down as the greatest moment in UFC history.
It has. There's
I'm
no
not
what
I'm not
other
gonna say it's the greatest fight of all time, but it
right.
was one of the best fights of all time.
Yep.
But just the magnitude of it, the fact that it was an American, like it really did feel like a movie ending to the night. I bet against Gaethje. I didn't go money line. I took Topuria round 2 knockout.
Yep.
And which, by the way, when he got on top, I was like, "Oh, I
It's
fucking
over.
got
Yep.
this,"
Yep.
and then didn't happen. But it was perfect. It was storybook, and I couldn't even be mad when I lost the money
No.
watching the fight. I
No.
just had to be like, "Wow, that was so cool," and the way that it happened, the
Yep.
fact that he made him quit, he made his corner throw in the towel. Like that's tough to do. He's probably a terrible matchup for Taporia because Gaethje is that kind of guy where it's like, if I don't knock him out in the first 2 rounds, I'm gonna be tired.
Right.
He always kind of looks tired.
Yep.
That's how he fights, and he doesn't stop. He takes
No.
a lot of damage, but he inflicts even more damage.
That weight
I
class
saw
is always just like a war too. Like every time you kind of think it's like, oh, you get excited for like the heavyweights, and then the
Yeah,
heavyweights just gas themselves out in like a
and then they
round.
just lay on each other, yeah.
But these guys, like that first round, it literally was like that the Rock'em Sock'em Bopper, like the little game you used to play, like the boxing dudes. They were just like
Yeah,
destroying each other. They were trading. It was crazy.
and I think Taporia, he said he lost vision in one of his eyes after the first round,
Yep.
and then after the 3rd round, he had lost it in the other one, so he
Yep.
was like I think when he lost vision the first time, he said, "Fuck it, I gotta go. I
Right.
gotta just try to end this fight as soon as I can,"
Yep.
and
We'll get
just
to these
stood
other
there and
fights, but
banked.
I did have a question because it felt like the doctor called it. Like,
Yeah.
isn't that doesn't he have, like, final say? Like, that was kinda weird.
So I got a good one, I just learned this one actually, but one of the reporters I follow on X, he showed the bylaws that are written in the UFC. The doctor's actually just there to give his recommendation.
It's like
The referee has the ultimate decision. So he listens to a guy that went to college for 7 years to learn medical stuff.
right.
And then he goes, I'll take that into
Yeah,
account, but
we're good.
that's not the whole story.
Because that was
So
like the
Mark
doctor
Goddard,
was literally like, "Hey, Like, his
Yeah,
eye's
he's like,
not following, like, at all. Like, this guy
no.
is cooked.
He wasn't even trying to
No.
follow it. He was like, "There's no chance.
And then
Just
the
let me
crowd was
fight."
kinda like, "No, you gotta let him go," and the ref's like, "Yeah, you know you're right, you're right. Look where we are. Are you shitting me? Like, we're gonna call this fight?"
Yeah.
Like, that was it was hard to watch that 4th round, but honestly, that was Topuria's best round was the
He
4th.
was still good,
Yeah,
right? So
crazy.
wait, okay, you said Taporia, looked great in the 4th. Did you have the fight 2-2 going into the 5th if it would've?
I think they would have had to just based on vibes, you know? Like, I feel like it was kinda the momentum definitely swung back, but then that
Right.
the knee to the ribs, the slow-mo knee to the ribs at the end of the 4th was like, "Yo, he's not coming back from that."
That's kinda why I gave Gaethje the 4th round,
Yeah.
though, was because I was like, Topuria might be winning, but it's close, but then the damage in that last 10 seconds that Gaethje
Oh,
gave him, I was like, "I don't care if he landed 10, 20 less shots in this round.
no.
He inflicted way more damage."
Dude, that was yeah.
That knee is so nasty.
Oh, you could see his,
Yeah.
like, intestines just crunching on each other. It was gnarly. His eyes too were just yeah,
Oh,
that was
the
a tough one.
pictures of him,
Oh,
I feel like just ruined his aura.
yeah, because he was coming out, I was like, "Fuck, this is not gonna be
Yeah.
good," like and it didn't look good, like, early, it was like, "This is gonna be over."
You're like, "Oh,
Yeah,
Justin hit him with a good one," but, like,
yep,
Topuria keeps going, and Topuria
yep,
was firing, and the body shots that Topuria was hitting in the 1st round,
yep,
I was like, "Dude, you're gonna quit." At one point, Gaethje screamed in
yep,
pain, didn't even
and
try to hide it.
you
No
could hear
poker
it all too
face.
because the shit was quiet, you know, like, the crowd wasn't too
Yeah.
loud, so it was just, oh, yeah.
Did you think the crowd was weird? That
Yeah.
that that it wasn't as many people? Yeah?
It's super weird because they kinda
Okay.
I also think when you have like, I'm not saying they weren't fans, right? A lot of them were service members, so it's really cool that they got to experience that. It's just like when you go to a UFC fight, a lot of these people are, like, pretty diehard fans, you know, especially at the
Right.
like, in the upper level. I've been to one UFC fight live, and, like, the people are super knowledgeable in the upper decks, like, they're all very big fans, not
Yeah,
casual
those are the
fans.
biggest fans.
Exactly, and they're, like, super into it, so I feel like it was just a little bit like whoever the most known it felt like if I went to that fight, you know, I was like, whoever the most known guy is, where they were kinda cheering for, and if it wasn't a well-known guy, then it was just USA type of thing, but the crowd was
Right.
weird, it was quiet, but the other like, the satellite, watch party, I mean, holy fuck, that was awesome.
That looked lit. They said there were, like, 100,000 people at that one.
Yeah, it when the zoom out at the end, when they did the ring, like the octagon and that thing in the back and the fireworks, I was like, "Dude, this is like a literal circus, like, this is insane."
Hey, no matter what you think about Trump, the guy knows how to throw a party.
That's
That
what
is
I was
you should
dude,
not doubt that. That's like his specialty. That's
yep,
what he
that
does.
I was gonna say, like, I didn't have that many, super wealthy friends growing up necessarily, but, like, this was the ultimate, like, rich kid birthday. He's like, "I want the
Yeah.
UFC, like, in my backyard for my birthday, and the day before, I want motocross." And, like, he got
Yeah.
it. It was
Yeah.
like it's kind of insane.
I will say I train at the same gym as one of the girls that does the interviews in between fights. And she was telling me like 6 months ago that Dana, didn't want Trump or anybody to pay for any of it. He
Mm,
he was paying $60 million as a birthday gift to put this event on.
that's what I've
Obviously,
been doing.
it's gonna help his business a ton too,
Right,
but because at first I was a little outraged. I was like, "Dude, should we be putting all of our money towards UFC right
right.
now?" And she backed me off that ledge. She was like, "Yeah, that's not happening at all." So,
The other thing people got mad about was the saluting. It was like, "How could you be saluting the fighters?" And it's like, "Dude, they're not saluting the fighters, they're saluting the people that saved 80, 80 US service members when they were in Iraq, like, walking with them. They're saluting the Medal of Honor recipients walking right next to the fighter, like, it's not yeah, it caused a lot of outrage. I wish it wasn't, so politicized with all of it because the event was so awesome. Like,
it was.
if it was a separate time, a different political environment, like, this thing would have been
Yeah.
everybody would have loved it, but it's just UFC's kinda always done that. It's always been a little bit it's hard to watch. It is like that last fight especially, like, if you're not a fighting fan, like, it's not a it is it's brutal, like, it is brutal. So I can
Yeah.
see, like, how people, but it was sick. I really enjoyed it.
Right. If you want to go, let's talk about the co-man,
Yep,
because that was the other thing I noticed is that the two biggest superstars, in my opinion, in the UFC are Alex Pereira and Ilya Taporia.
yep,
And watching them lose back to back was
crazy.
crazy.
Yep,
I called Gone.
you did.
I don't know if you remember. I was like, my model likes Pereira, but I still like Gone. Like I
Yep,
can't get away from him. And only lost to John Jones and Ngannou, right? Like that's got to count for something. And the fight was, I don't know. We started off and we're like, okay, this is a good fight. Like
yep,
neither of these guys are outmatched. It's really going to come down to who gets caught first. Pereira looked a little slow to me,
he did,
a
yeah.
little slower than normal, right?
Yep,
I think it's tough to put on all that weight and still think you're going to be the same person and fight the same way.
yep.
Whereas like Gon has done that his whole career. Um, he looked great, I thought. Like he
Yeah,
looked so good.
he's
People
stacked like
got
a brick
really
shit
mad.
house too. He's
I
oh my
know.
god.
He is the guy though that if you're like, hey, this is the heavyweight champion of the world, you're like, that's what I want him to look
Right.
like. I don't want him to look like Derek Lewis.
No,
I want him to
no.
look like Gon.
Or hoke it. Yeah, that's what yeah,
There's no
it's
wasted
no,
weight. Not a
no.
single pound is wasted in that 260 frame.
And he's got the sick, like, back tat, like,
Oh yeah.
he's got the champion vibe. That was the biggest thing I took away is both those guys looked insane, and I kinda thought that Gon was, like, way bigger, and then they get in the ring, and it was like, "Damn, this is like" Pereira looks good, like, he didn't look heavy,
Yeah.
like, he put the weight on well and everything. The one criticism I have for him, the beard and all the promo stuff, I didn't like it. I
Wild.
didn't like
Yeah,
it, yeah,
weird.
it's not
Threw
his
me off.
that's not his aesthetic. He looks way better with the shaved warrior face. That's where I was like,
Yeah.
is he giving up? Is he done? Is he just not shaving?
What made me mad was people thought if he wins this fight, he becomes the first ever champion in three weight divisions, and that makes him the GOAT. There's levels to this, Joe. John Jones is the GOAT for a reason.
Yep.
He never lost. And when he fought Gone, he finished him in 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Made it look easy.
Yeah.
Like, and now we throw Pereira in here. Pereira's already got losses. He's on a one fight winning streak going into this fight. He had lost the fight before to Ankalaev. So I get mad about the whole GOAT conversation because I think it takes a very special, unique person to take that, where John Jones is good at everything.
Yep.
There's no hole. Pereira, if you want to take him down and make it a jujitsu match, that's probably your best chance. Whereas John Jones, you take him down jujitsu match, he's probably gonna fucking break your arm
Yeah.
or choke you out, like just nasty.
And Topuria
But
was on that, like, path, right? He wins that fight, it
yeah,
would have been like, "Okay, this guy's for real." But yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Taporia's getting close.
Exposed.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are getting exposed.
The UFC does that though, right at the height. Usually it's pretty close to the height. You either ascend or you don't. And there's only a couple guys that have ascended because it's like you get, there's a real peak, and after that, I feel like it's so common to see the fall off. Like with Taporia, I wouldn't be surprised if he loses a couple more because that's a fucking brutal ending to that.
I don't think he's gonna fight for a while.
It has
I
to
think
just
he's
go
gonna take a
away.
long layoff. Well, yeah, medically he won't be cleared, but then also I think there's something. A guy like that has such an ego.
Yep.
You have to, like, it's not even a bad thing. Like
No.
you have to in that sport have some type of ego that gives you that confidence, and that one hurts. That
Yep.
one really hurts the ego. I think Pereira will be fine. Pereira, he's
Yeah.
already 38 years old.
Nah,
He's
he
been
doesn't care.
fighting for
Yep.
so long.
He's a
Like,
champion. There's
yeah.
no it was a
And
different
that's the
weight
thing.
class. He's got the yeah.
Even though I don't think he's the GOAT, I still think Pereira is one of the best fighters we've ever seen.
Right, Hall of Fame, Hall
And
of Fame.
I just saw he's in a movie that's coming out like this summer also.
Is he
He's
gonna be
playing
funny?
like, no, he's like a badass like
Action,
Navy
yeah,
SEAL or something.
yeah. He's not like a Bad
Yeah.
Bunny. Bad Bunny
Yeah.
and Happy Gilmore
Oh,
still, yeah.
yeah, man. Bad Bunny, that guy's talented.
Bad
Yeah.
Bunny.
My Bonnie. Um, O'Malley also. O'Malley looked great.
Sick.
O'Malley
We needed that.
Yeah, he did need that, and it was cool for him. He's one of those guys where everybody loves to watch him, I think, because he has a fun style, moves fun, cool character, and he's always ready for the big moments.
Yep.
He fought at the Sphere, even though he loses that fight, like he's just built for big fights and felt like he got his mojo back a little bit.
Yep.
Somehow hit the salute before the
Crazy.
dude even hit the ground.
Crazy.
Might have been an early stoppage. O'Malley kind of does that sometimes where he walks off early and the ref just calls it. But
It wouldn't have
I
mattered.
he would have exactly. He
Yeah.
was going to win. Just like with Gone and Pereira. Pereira was still on his feet. Apparently Shannon Sharp was like, that was an early stoppage with Pereira. It's like, no, dude, how
Yeah.
is he even alive
Yeah, you
still?
want him to die in there? Like, I just yeah, there was a couple times it could have stopped. I thought it was a little late, if anything, to be honest, because he was
Herb
wobbling for
Dean.
a while.
Herb Dean, people were mad about Gone hitting him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
I said, brother, he's locked in a cage with one of the scariest human beings to ever grace Earth. He's not thinking about that.
No.
He's just throwing. He can barely see where his head's at in that position. That's on Herb Dean.
Yep. Yep.
And we all know Herb, he lets it go.
Yeah,
You
that was
better you better make buddy buddy with Herb before you fight. Otherwise,
especially
he
on
will
that
let you die.
stage, they're not gonna stop a fight early on that stage. You can't.
And someone like Pereira who has shown like, hey, even the fact when he was getting elbowed in the head and then he just picked his leg and just stood up, I could not believe what I was watching. I was
Crazy.
like, no human being can do that.
No.
Granted, he still gets knocked out, but even that was just so impressive to
Yep.
watch.
Yep.
I gotta know, Joe, my favorite fighter in the UFC right now, Josh Hokett. Give me your thoughts on him because I'm sure you haven't seen a whole lot of him.
Oh, yeah, I'm
You got a
undecided.
taste.
I'm undecided.
I told you though. I told you.
You
I
told
said
yeah.
you're gonna learn Hokett this week.
Yeah, yeah. It's sort of corny. Like, I get it. I get the whole thing, and it's, like, fun and stuff, but I don't like the throw up at the weigh-in with the applesauce, I thought that was kinda funny, and, like, he is funny, but then I look at him, and then I look at, Gon, and I look at some of these other guys in the weight class, and it's like, fuck, like, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see him being like that level, but I could be wrong.
That
I don't know
that's
enough.
why I gravitate. That's why I gravitate towards him because I myself fought at heavyweight. I'm built somewhat similar to him as far as like frame goes. About the same height as him. Don't have super long arms, super long legs. So I enjoy watching him because he's a great athlete. I mean, he played running back in the NFL
Right.
for preseason. So like I love that. The whole thing though, it's an act. He'll be the first to tell you he grew up watching WWE. That was his first love. So he wants to merge that gap. That's what a lot of the stuff is. Obviously, the media hated his
Yeah.
interview, which I was like, if you've ever watched this guy before, he does it every fight.
Right.
And you're gonna give him this stage. What do you think's gonna
Yeah.
happen?
Yeah.
What do you think? And after the fight backstage, they interview him and he switched to a different alter ego. He switched to Josh, who is like a scared little boy. And basically his fight alter ego is the Incredible Hulk. And he's not afraid of anyone. And he'll do anything. And he's not afraid to say anything. But then when he went backstage, he was back to being little Josh. And he was they asked him about Michelle Obama being a man. And he's like, yeah, I don't really know about that stuff. Like, I've seen some clips of some weird stuff. So maybe, but he was like, the Incredible Hulk sure thinks that she is. So like, he's very much telling you, he's like, I don't really believe this, but like
Right.
I'm playing a character when I go out there.
Yeah.
So
It's just like for that stage and the casual fan, like you don't know the whole thing. So it's like yeah, I don't know if it's gonna end up helping or hurting him because you get a guy like that in the UFC kind of will know the lore, but if you're just a casual fan and you're building like a superstar, it's like I don't know.
yeah, it's tough.
It's tough. But I do think like the character stuff later in life, like he's just gonna end up like a schizophrenic and he'll just like in like a retirement home, just like turn into Incredible Hulk and they're like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. But he seems actually really smart. Like, he has a degree in political science. Um, he was a national champion wrestler at the age of, I think he won at the age of 6 and at the age of 8. So he's one of those guys that grew up with a wrestling dad that is a psycho and basically made him super disciplined and everything. So that's why, like, I trust that this is all just a character, because I think if you watched him in the gym, he probably trains super hard. He's probably like really like honorable, all these things. But then he puts this out because he knows he's going to get views. And he fought on the White House card. Joe, I think that was his 5th fight in the UFC.
It's insane. Yeah. I mean, it's
Like,
work like the
because he's done this, he's
Yep.
gotten all of the fans to start clicking on this stuff.
Yep.
Um, I don't know. I got into an argument with someone because I basically said if Shane Gillis said that, I wouldn't think twice about it.
Right.
Like, the stuff he said at the roast, at Kevin Hart roast, was way worse to me.
Right.
Um, but the fact that, like, now it's an MMA fighter and we're
Right.
gonna all torch this guy and say it's the worst thing anybody's ever said,
And it's
to
on the
me,
White
it's
House.
just like,
It's the
yeah,
whole yeah, it's the
we're talking about a guy that gets punched in the head for a living. It's
Right.
not like he's changing any laws.
No, I think that's the problem. Like, that's the big thing people had with this is the sport itself. It's a if you don't follow the sport, it's like a whoa, what the fuck's going on? Especially at the White House. You know what I mean? Like, it's a shock and awe type thing because if you don't follow the sport, the first 2 seconds of the fight, he's flipping off Derek Lewis, which was
Yeah.
hilarious. Like, it was just like this guy's a wacko. But you if you don't know and you're just tuning in for the first time and that's the first time you're getting him, it's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. And that's why I tried to warn you. I was
Yeah.
like, hey,
No,
get ready to learn him this week.
he's like a
If
Sean
you
Strickland, like he's the same type of
Except
guy.
for Sean Strickland truly believes everything he
Yeah,
says.
yeah.
Sean Strickland is that guy that you
You're
see.
right.
Hoke it, don't believe it. You should go look up. So that was his 4th fight in the UFC, by the way. Um, you should, after this, go look up his fight against Denzel Freeman. It's the first ever fight to finish by somebody getting flipped off and then quitting. He was across the cage. There was 10 seconds left in the round. The guy was absolutely gassed. He looked at the guy. The guy just like sat there and like didn't want to fight. And he walked away from him and just flipped him off. And the guy just quit. The guy was like, I'm done. It's one of the hardest photos you'll ever see.
That's insane.
Um, okay. Last thing I want to talk about before we move on is, did you see the DC controversy?
Yeah, yeah, that
Eric Trump,
I
DC.
still I have a I know the post they said was real and stuff, and then obviously people were gonna say, the backtrack with DC and like, how can you guys believe this? The messages were there's no way that was because there's no way he's scraping for cents like that. I just don't.
I
It
do
was
agree with that.
the messages read weird. I don't. It's not that far fetched to believe something like that would happen, but I don't think it's going to be that blatant. That would blow my mind, especially with all the access they had. There's no way they're not going to be in person, at some
Right.
point during that weekend. That's my thing. I was like, if you're going to
Just
do that,
ask.
just ask him. And then if he came out and said like, "Hey, he asked me this is bullshit," I'd believe that a lot more than some like Nigerian prince messages. The messages didn't feel authentic to me
So you think it's a like pretty elaborate hack, because
somehow. Yeah.
that's the only thing that could happen. Basically, the only one that would work based on the information we have would be that basically DC's Twitter got hacked. These people posted this, which
Yeah.
also means that they would have had to either AI generate those IG messages,
Which
then
wouldn't be
move to
crazy hard.
Twitter.
Would not be that hard to
Wouldn't be
do.
that hard.
No.
Okay. So then you move to Twitter, you post that,
Yep.
then it gets taken down immediately, which the hackers would do that.
No, no, I think they saw it. Someone saw it
You
and was
think
like, "Hey,
DC
yo, like, what the
deleted
fuck?"
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Either way, it is a nothing burger. Because even if it did happen, like, there's a
Well,
bunch of other shit going down right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing where it's like, it's gonna get swept under the rug. No way it doesn't.
here's my problem. Okay. Is that if you are involved in the commissions or the regulatory system, your job is to at least go look at this. If something pops up like this, why, tell me why, Joe? Why would you not look into it? Why would you just be like, there's nothing here?
They'll look
Your
into it, but
job
then
is to go,
you're
yeah,
gonna
your
end up
job is
it's
to
the
go look
same
into
thing.
stuff.
There's a active UFC fighter that put money on this fight. There's that. Okay, we got that one. So they need to look into that one. We got a
Mhm.
Texas Tech quarterback that got acquitted of all. Like the gambling stuff's so far out that that doesn't even in the government fraud, like there is so
This
much
would be
else going
easy.
on.
This would be so easy to prove that it's not right. Like that, if you're Trump in DC, it would be very easy to be like, here's my phone, here's my IG, go look at the logs, go look at the deleted messages, whatever. There's nothing there. Like just to give everybody sanity. Otherwise, everybody's going to question it for the rest of time.
Yeah, I don't think so. That's where I disagree. I think there is so much that's happening that this is nobody's gonna give a fuck in a week. Like I just don't. There's gonna be a couple people that bring it up, but it's like such a inconsequential like
Maybe I'm just a good guy, but if I'm in that position, I'm saying, hey, FBI, please take my phone. Please tell everybody, show them all the evidence in the world that I did not do this. Like,
yeah,
I'm the
no.
type of person that wants you to investigate me because I know I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, but it's also there's a lot of there's a lot of other shit going on with that family and also it just even if it did happen, it won't ever come out. That's my thing. Like you're never gonna come to the bottom of it because there's too many powerful people in too many positions to where they can make it not happen. Even if
Yeah,
it did.
probably true.
Even if it did. Like who owns Twitter? You know what I mean? Look at where we're talking about. It's just there's no it's not gonna it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. If he had
Are you
said
concerned that the defense didn't add up at all? Are you
no,
concerned about that?
no, because if it's real or if it's not, it doesn't matter to me. It won't matter. Like
Okay.
if it had said Gaethje wins after Topuria quits in the fourth round, then I'd be like, maybe we should take a little harder look into this. But it was like, hey, you have any insider information? And then it's like, I just don't. And then the event went well. The event goes bad,
Event went
we're
well.
in a different situation. Like they'll talk about it, but nobody's gonna
See,
be.
to me, that shouldn't matter. I just think if there's ever a big news story about, hey, possible tampering, possible like gambling fraud, insider trading, that like, hey, guess what? There's people that's their job is to investigate those type of things. And I'm not talking about, you're talking about, hey, the Trump family's got all this stuff going on. There are people in that work in gaming commission. Their job is to find shit like that. That's their whole job. When one gets handed to you as a possible lead, why would you not look at that?
Yeah,
You probably struggle to find leads. And
yeah.
then one gets tweeted to you and you go, nope, not gonna look.
You're being way too sensible. That's the problem.
Yeah, I
The
know.
most entertaining outcome is what's gonna happen, and it's not gonna like it's yes, you're right. You're right. That's just not what's gonna
Right?
happen.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fair.
That's what
If
I
we can
think.
agree
Because
on that.
like they signed that Iran deal. Like there's more shit. You know what I mean? Like it's like who gives a
Yeah.
fuck? At the end of the day, that's the last thing. Unless somebody at the gaming commission has a vendetta. That's the only
Hey,
thing.
that's kind of how I felt for a while is that it's death by a million cuts.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
feels like
I
that.
hope so. It'd be sick. It'd be a hilarious story. That'd be an all-time funny story if
If
it
it
comes out.
was
So
true, my
funny.
favorite part
So funny.
is that he just like assumed it. Like he's just like obviously the fights are rigged, so like
Yeah.
which
You
ones?
can cut
Like
me in,
that
dude. Like, you should me?
like you're just on a different universe. He's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I've been to boxing
Yeah.
events before. So like which one of these ones
Hey,
is
this
rigged?"
is, at my dad's backyard, like, can you cut me in? Or, like, what's the deal?
Yeah.
Like, you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong, and it could be
I
real.
will
I'm not
I
doubting that it
will
could
say
be real. It's just who gives a fuck at this point?
I will say some of the people that know DC personally, they were like, it doesn't really feel like how he texts.
No, no.
So I will
It
take
was a
that in.
weird the messages didn't feel if I'm asking for insider tips from a commentator and I'm the president's son, that's not how I'm phrasing the messages, but maybe
Also, DC would be insane to even post that.
or to reply.
That was my first thought.
Right.
I was like, people online right now are mad at him, for like backing down. I think he's got the biggest balls in the world to be at the White House and tweet some shit like that.
Right, exactly. He's probably in the
Like
Oval
that,
Office, yeah.
yeah.
What about the other thing
He
from
was
this
probably
one?
using the White House Wi-Fi when he tweeted it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not hard. Like I said, we know who owns Twitter. We could pretty easily find out,
Mhm.
what happened with this. It'd be a couple click of the buttons for Elon. Like just it's
So if you're on their side though, if someone did hack, like you don't even think it's worth their time to even go like fuck that person's life up
Well, because
that
what
did
happens
hack
if
them.
they're not gonna be able to find out who did it necessarily,
Oh, okay.
and then also if it comes out, it's just gonna look more guilty because it's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Elon says it didn't happen. Look at who Elon's associated with." You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
there's no way that this gets resolved. It just ends in the death spiral that we always see. That's my point. It's
Fair.
gonna end up with an argument on the either side now, they're guilty forever or not guilty forever, and it's just gonna stay that way.
Right.
The other thing, though, from this fight, what the fuck was that Tyson Fury thing? That was so weird.
Yeah, it was
I thought it
just
was a delay. I thought it was like a lightning delay. I was like, "Oh, they're just killing some time."
yeah, I remember my first thought when it happened, I said, "We're bringing out a boxer that's from the UK. It's also hasn't been to the US in 4 years because he's tied to someone on the most wanted list, and we're giving him a grand entrance." I was like, "This is weird." And then he comes out and doesn't even announce what he's
Hint
supposed to
anything.
announce.
The in
He was like, "I'll let someone else do it."
the the
What?
interviewer is just kinda, like, pressing him a little bit, and then he's like, "Alright, we're not getting it." Like, what the fuck?
So bizarre.
Yeah.
That was the one, like, weird thing, and that was the part where I was like, "Oh, okay. There might be some turbulence tonight."
Yeah. Yep.
But after that,
Smooth.
nothing. It
Yep.
was so smooth,
Yep.
so well done,
The live music
and
was sick.
live music was so
So
dope.
sick. Yep.
Oh my god.
When they
All the entrances to me were
Dude,
just on
when they
amazing.
did the Zombie Nation and then I was like, "Dude, this is so sick."
Yeah.
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 But then the guy
No.
O'Malley's fighting comes out to the Canadian national anthem. You gotta win, brother. You're gonna play that Canadian at the White House. You gotta win that fight. You can't
I
come
heard
out to
some
that.
people singing it. I heard some
Yeah.
people.
It was
Yeah.
sick, but you gotta win that fight. You have to.
Yeah. A guy like that, though, in my opinion, he's like, "Holy shit, nobody knows who I am, and I'm about to make so much money."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, incredibly sick though.
Derek Lewis and Michael Chandler, should they retire?
Yeah, yeah. Derek Lewis for sure. He was dude, I don't think he trained for a lick of
His
that.
armbar defense was
It
so
was
good. He just flexed. It's
Oh man, I was just like, I think we were texting in a group chat, and I was like, "These guys are gassed." And then one of our buddies was like, "Great analysis," and I was like, "Well, dude, so what's fucking happening? Like, I don't know what else you want me." Like, they just look tired.
I think Derek Lewis is tired. I think Hokit, when you watch him, he does a lot of possum.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
He
But
likes to make
at
you
the
think
end,
he's hurt and tired.
I
Yeah.
think he was a little tired. He
Even
was a
with
little
the
tired.
armbar, though, he was holding the armbar and he was just like looking up in the sky thinking. And then at one point, he just starts yelling
I know.
and
He's
like
like,
he's just fucking
ah.
around. Yeah. Yeah. I just love it. He has fun in there.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, it was good. Good overall.
Yeah. It'll never happen again, but we'll never forget it. And the pictures that came from it will be around till the end of time.
Yep.
You know what else we're not going to forget? We're not going to forget the NBA Finals this year. The New York Knicks are champions. Joe, I grew up hating the New York Knicks because I always said, why does everybody talk about them? They were like the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA for me,
Fair.
where in my lifetime, they had never been relevant in any sense of competitiveness. And then they get all the attention in the world. So I never liked them, but this was awesome to see.
Yep.
The
Now you get
Villanova
it.
boys
Now you
is
get it.
fire. Yeah, I do get it. I do get it. And those guys are going to be kings
Yep.
for the rest of
Forever. Yep.
their lives
Yep.
in the city of New York.
And yeah, you get the New York thing. Like, there's just nowhere. The population's there. It's a basketball.
Prideful.
It's just a you can't You can't replicate it, and
It
it's
very much feels like New York versus the world.
yeah, the building, the projectors on the buildings, like, it's hard to replicate that type of thing. Philly does it pretty well, Philly wins, everybody gets nuts, but New York's just got that extra level, and it to have a run like that for them too, like, losing 2 games in the last fucking 8 months or 3 game whatever it was, like, 3 months, the playoffs, like, just a crazy, crazy run. It was a fun-ass series too. Really fun series.
Yeah, great series. I mean, you don't wanna play the Knicks in the 4th quarter specifically.
No.
Jalen Brunson's a killer. I think he's kind of the perfect New York athlete.
Yep,
A lot of times they bring in someone like Carmelo, right? Like this huge personality that loves the spotlight. Brunson seems like the better type where he's not going to get bothered by any of this New York media, this New York pressure, because he's just quiet, keeps to himself, and grinds the love of the game. But it doesn't feel like New York sports goes that route very often with
no.
their players. They always try to go get the guys that are going to sell everything. And the other thing was Rick Brunson. I mean, we got to talk about it. They had the TNT boys. I know it's not TNT anymore, but
Right.
Charles,
Yep,
Shaq, they were talking to Jalen and Rick Brunson after the series. They were talking about how Brunson is possibly the GOAT of New
yep.
York basketball. And Rick Brunson, his father, said Patrick Ewing's still the GOAT. Stop the debate. Hey, I just want to stop you there. I just want to let everyone know Patrick Ewing's still a GOAT.
Yep.
What a fucking weird thing to
I
say in
know,
that moment.
I
It was
know.
so uncomfortable. I felt bad for the crew,
Yep,
for Charles and them. Kenny the Jet tried to correct the ship a little bit, but then what it sparked was a bunch of people going to try to find the clip and typing in Rick Brunson,
yep,
Patrick Ewing.
yep,
And what do you know? The first thing that pops up on Twitter is a blog from our boy Big Cat that talks about Rick Brunson going to a massage therapist, massage parlor, using Patrick Ewing's name to meet up with a massage therapist that told him he's not allowed to get massaged by her anymore.
yep, yep, and he got fired from Timberwolves, I think, for a similar-ish type of deal, or
And at,
or
at
or
that time,
he quit, or it was like, something. Yeah, we got a Phil Mickelson situation is kinda what happened, I think, so it was like, asked to leave, but probably something going on, yeah. I caught this in the interview, and not many people I don't know if many people knew about that, about him, because it's kinda under the
I
radar.
didn't.
Yeah, but in the I had heard the stories before, so I kinda knew, and, like, he's getting all this press on the stage and all this stuff. I was like, "Ah, this is," let his son have the moment type of thing, and it kept feeling like they were bringing him in, but there was a moment at the end where they said something like that same crew asked him, I think they asked him, like, "How are you such a good guy?" Something like that, or "Where'd you get your work ethic? Where are you such a good guy?" And he basically was like, "From my mom, for sure, definitely not my dad." And I was like, That's, the people that know, it's a little bit, it's a deeper shot maybe than we think. And maybe it wasn't, maybe he was just kind of fucking around, but Brunson for sure I got a little bit of the champagne in the locker room, and his interview with Shaq and them
Oh,
was so much better than the one right after the game.
yeah.
The one right after the
Yeah.
game was a brutal watch.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. You
I
need that. You got to loosen up a little bit.
yeah, I don't, I'm not hating on him at all. You just won a championship. He's basically fighting back, bawling on live TV. And they were just she was peppering him with questions, but she was just getting nothing out of him. She's like, "What does it mean to you?" And he just like, Everything, everything, crying." Like, it was, yeah, the presser was, it was funny. Like, the post-game trophy ceremony, I thought was funny. Who let the dogs out? Like, just so corny. The whole thing. Cat is hilarious. He's just like El Cap 10. Like, yeah, he's funny.
Cat was the unsung hero of this whole thing. I think
Yep,
Brunson gets all of the credit, but all the stats, everything, Cat was so dominant in this
yep.
series. I think his plus minus, it was something
Best in
ridiculous, like
history.
plus 140 something when he was on the court. Disgusting. And I go back to just the Villanova boys in general.
Yep.
It feels like a Disney movie, right?
So
It
sick.
feels like something. I mean, and that was the theme of this week with sports is that A lot of these moments just felt like not real life, and
Yep.
we're getting to experience them. Um, what's great for the NBA is that the Knicks won, not the Thunder, right?
Yep.
And we got the graphic. The last 8 years, there have been 8 different, unique individual champions. And that is so good for the NBA because just a decade ago, we were stuck in the LeBron versus Steph era when
Yep.
it felt like this was going to be the NBA forever, right? We were always going to have two super teams. And I just think the NBA is in such a good spot right now. And are the Knicks favored to win next year? I don't think so,
No. Yeah, no. There's a
right?
bunch other but let's talk about the Spurs for a second because
Mm,
I think the biggest thing I took away is that, De'Aaron Fox is ass. I mean, he is ass. And there was a couple moments in that game at the end. Spurs could have won all of them, right? I mean, there was a chance in every single game for them to win. Wemby
every
made some
game.
mistakes for sure, became a villain. We talked about it before the season. We want Wemby in the spotlight. We want him to win some, and then he'll become the villain. Well, he skipped the win some part and just became the villain. Now he's a villain. It's fun. I think he'll play the villain well. I like him as a villain, but why is Harper not in the fucking game? Unreal.
Harper's
Fox put up it looked like me at shoot around in pickup basketball at the end of the game. So he was throwing up bricks in just pivotal moments. And it was like, dude, you've got Champagny, who's unbelievable from three. I may or may not needed
sniper.
him like another, I had him 5+3s. I needed one more. Pass him the ball. Give Wemby the ball. Literally anybody else. Castle let him drive. Like Fox is just jacking up shots that just, yeah, it pissed me off so much watching the end of that game because they had so many chances to win in so many different spots, and they pissed that one away. Every game they pissed it away.
Dylan Harper is a bona fide future superstar.
Yep,
Like there's no question he's going to be a guy. It's the perfect thing to see because we were talking about Wemby just needs one, right? He just needs
yep,
one superstar. Fox is not the guy,
yep.
but
Who's the big
with
white
him
guy
and
that
Harper,
backs up Wemby?
it's
Also
is it
ass.
Cornette?
Also just ass.
Yeah, yeah, just a big 7 footer. Just
Dude, he
stick him
comes in
back
the
there.
game and it's like, oh fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Just
this
like
is the time to go score.
get
You better go on a run
get
right here.
get Harper more playing time and put his ass not playing. I feel like you'd be better off with Kelly Olynyk on there. Like he's
Oh
sitting on
my
the
god.
bench and I was like, dude, get him in the game. Like it can't be worse.
I think though that this is going to turn Wemby into even bigger of a monster.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the camp I'm
Yep.
in right now.
Yep.
He goes to his first finals. If he wins, it's all sunshine and rainbows. Who knows? He just lost. He's about to go lock himself in the mountains
Yep.
and he is going to come back with a different vengeance.
Yep.
And that's exactly what he needed, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I hope there's a weight room in those mountains too, because that last rebound with Robinson, that was a classic why strength coaches get paid millions of dollars because a little bit of extra strength that doesn't have. He got fucking eaten up on that offensive rebound.
I mean, Mitch is a big dog.
Still though, still.
Yeah.
It's not they're not gonna stop beating him up. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
7'4", you're gonna get that. Like Chet kind of has the same vibe, but I don't know, Chet somehow gets away with it a little bit because he has SGA, he has other guys around him where he's not
Oh,
just
yeah.
taking the punishment. But Wemby, I mean, they're beating the fuck out of Wemby. So I don't hate the fact that he's like getting these extracurricular fouls, shoving people because he's getting the same treatment on the way back. But like, brother, you got to put a little weight. I think he's got to put a little bit of muscle weight on.
If he goes the Giannis route, we're
Oh,
all fucked.
they're fucked. So fucked.
Because Giannis looked like him when he
Yep.
first came in the league.
Yep.
If that glow up happens, good luck.
Yep. A
But I
little
think
less ratatouille for him, in France this summer, and a little more In and Out, a couple more cheeseburgers.
he needs to
He'll
start
do 'em well.
training with fellow Frenchman Cyril Gahn.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
whatever Gon's eating, I don't know what it is, but he needs to get on that Gon diet.
Yeah, I would be afraid. I think we still are going to see Wemby. It's great that we got to see him this early in
Yep,
the finals,
yep,
and we're going to see him a lot in the finals, no
yep.
matter what. I fully believe that. Um, Spurs fan, final boss. Did you happen to see that guy?
No, I heard the on I was listening to part of my take today though. They're just
Oh, they talk
they're
about
just
it?
no, I don't think it was maybe this guy specifically, but they said basically like in San Antonio there was like places you just couldn't go as a Knicks fan. Both these fan bases were
Mm.
just beating the fuck out of each other.
Well, this guy went to a Knicks game and he wore a Spurs jersey, and like the entire floor had surrounded him, and he was in the middle, and people were coming up sucker punching him. He would turn around. He was eating shots and just like trying to
I
knock
did see
people
this guy,
out. You
the
saw this guy.
huge black dude.
Dude, it
Yeah,
was an
it was
incredible video.
200 versus 1.
And then people found his Instagram and they were like, "Wait, I don't even know if this guy's a Spurs fan or if he was just looking for smoke on
He
a
was
Thursday night."
looking for fades. He's like, "I got the
Yeah,
perfect
dude.
idea."
He was like, because on his Instagram, he was like, "Bro, that was the most fun I've had in years. Like, need to get back to this." It was like coming off a layoff, dude. Like he was just like, "All right, I gotta lock back in, like
Uh,
remember my roots."
yeah, we need to watch
Yeah.
that guy. He's gonna be on the street fighting homeless people just to get his weight up.
Hell yeah. He should have been on the UFC card. Him versus 100 Knicks fans.
Yeah.
No,
Uh,
it was awesome. I can't wait for the next NBA season and see what it brings us. But we're in such a good spot. We have an amazing draft coming up very soon.
yep.
And then we also just don't know who the dominant team in the NBA is right now.
No,
So
it's
hats
gonna be
off
sick.
to the NBA.
Yep, I agree.
Joe, the NHL finals, not as crazy. I mean, it was great. The whole playoffs were awesome,
Yep,
but the ending, it just felt like it got away from the Knights, and Canes kind of pulled away and didn't really get too suspenseful. But congrats to the Canes. I picked them,
you did.
and then I was ultimately mad when they won because
Yep.
it was against the Knights. But congrats to them. They were the best team this year.
Yeah, we got bus rolled by Mr. Bussy. As soon as they put him in, it was over. Because the first couple games, it was the easiest overs of all time. We talked about it: 9 goals, 8 goals, 7 goals, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, Bussy comes in and he just decides to play like the greatest goalie of all time. He got yanked earlier in the year too. Like they started him out, he's horrible.
Right.
And they've kind of traded goalies around, and Hart didn't play great. You know, Vegas's goalie let up 4 goals in the first 4 games of his first time in Stanley Cup history. So yeah, just it was a really fun start to the series, and then it just petered off, and it wasn't a fun end.
As someone that's living in Vegas right now, though, I will say I consider it a success.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
based
we weren't
on
expected to
2
be
months
there.
ago,
Yep.
right? Like
Fired their
I can't be
coach.
mad. Yeah, exactly. When we fired the coach, I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize how bad the season was going." Like I
Yep.
thought we were still like in first in our division, things like that, and like, yeah. So that's also me. I'm just kind of a puck casual, you could
Yep.
say, but
Same.
yeah. No parade for Vegas. And, Carolina, you could use something out there,
Something.
right? Like,
It's
they
definitely
needed
not
it.
going to be a basketball, college basketball championship anytime soon. So
Right.
you need something.
Yeah, those days are gone. But Vegas, we lose and then we just go to Encore Beach Club,
Yep.
right? We lose, then we go eat at Nobu.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. And crazy that the Stanley Cup though was like the least fun, of the weekend.
Yeah.
Like so much else was going on. It was like I flipped off the game to watch the UFC because it was that
Yeah,
you can't
yeah.
miss that. It was just yeah. It could have gone two TVs, but I was like I don't want to ruin this moment with
Ruin.
that moment. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, once they were up 2-0, even
Yep.
though that nobody's been able to protect a 2-0 lead the whole time, in that game, it started to feel like it was gone.
Especially with Bussy.
Bussy. Joe, let's wrap up the show with World Cup, right? We're in the heat of it. And today we saw 4 draws, all 4 games, a um a big I don't know, people are calling it an upset.
Oh yeah.
Cape Verde,
Oh, huge
right?
upset. Yeah. No, let me
Here's
let
my
me
problem.
no, let me
Okay,
hit
you
you let
you
me hit
go.
you with this one. So that
Come on.
I seen on Twitter today. So I work with a guy from Spain. Okay, I work with the guys from Spain. This was not good. This is a not good situation for Spain. Okay, they look not good, right? This is not something you lose. I saw something on, they didn't even lose, but this is a loss,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
This is a loss to them because the point system and how it all works. Now it's a little bit fucky, but either way, I saw something on Twitter that said, put this in NFL terms. And the guy said, the most liked reply was, this is like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs losing to a high school team with a town size of that 5,000 people. Like this was like a crazy result, as they say. So yeah, this was a bad look for Spain, especially coming in as the tournament champion favorites.
Right. And I mean, I've got a couple tickets on them. I got Spain versus Colombia as the final matchup this year, right? So I still believe in Spain. Still think they're going to do it, but I took issue, and I'm going to take flack for this one. I took issue with that team getting a tie and then they're crying on the field.
You
Tears of
got it,
joy.
dude. You got it. That was their first ever World Cup
World
appearance.
Cup.
You got to take it with a grain of salt. There was also another team. I can't remember. Who was it? It was a Middle Eastern team. Maybe it was Qatar. I think it was Qatar.
Yeah,
They
Qatar.
score a goal, right? Everybody's
Yeah. I
losing
think
their
they went up one
fucking
zero.
mind, like losing
Yeah.
their mind because it's not it's a different. We got to take our American minds and take a step
I
back.
know.
It's a totally different. Have you looked
It's
up Cape
hard.
Verde at all?
No.
Your house is probably bigger than the island. It is fucking tiny. It is tiny. So the fact that they were able to tie a world perennial club, like it is a big deal. It is different though. And that's what I was gonna say about these draws. Every World Cup,
500,000 people.
dude, it's so small. But I
I'm
was
from
looking
Gilbert, Arizona. We're about 300,000.
right. I was looking up every year for the World Cup. I never bet on soccer. I don't watch soccer. I don't bet on soccer. But the World Cup, I get into it. I always forget about the draws. The draws are the greatest bet of all time because
Yeah.
they're always juiced. Like that Spain draw was plus 750 just to open.
Yeah.
It's a great bet. There is a lot of value in betting draws, and I have been betting nothing but correct scores and draws. And
I love
it's
draws.
electric. It's electric. The correct score is my touchdown parlay of the World Cup.
The great part about draws to me in the World Cup is that, like, I bet on Japan, for example. Japan was playing against the Netherlands. You could tell during the game that Japan wanted to draw.
Yeah.
Japan was sitting on the ball with like 10 minutes left in regulation. They were just sitting on the ball and saying, we'll take our point.
Yep.
You get 1 point for a draw, we're going to take it. So
Yep.
teams are also actively looking to draw. I think that was my problem with the Verde thing, is that there was somebody, there had to be at least one person that bet on them to win the game, right? Lottery ticket.
I did.
You're that
I had
guy.
him.
Oh, you had him?
Yeah, of course.
So
2,500. Yeah, come
at
on.
the end of the game, you're standing in your living room, George Pickens meme, looking at the TV, and these guys are crying tears of joy because they didn't win. They tied. And you're sitting there and you're like, I'm down $20.
It's a point.
And
It's a
these
point.
guys, this is the greatest moment of
Their
these
life.
guys'
Yeah.
lives.
Yeah.
And they didn't even win.
Yeah. No, it's dumb. It
And
is
you
dumb.
lost money.
But they're playing the game because you got to look at the point system. The three teams are getting out of a lot of these groups, right? The goal differentials, the second tiebreaker. Like it is dumb. I'm not saying it's not
Joe,
dumb. It's
let me
fucking
give you some
stupid.
math. 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw.
No, it's true. But the problem is Spain had 72% possession and some of the best players in the world on their team. So the fact that they didn't give up a goal, their goalie, Camp Verde's goalie's
The goal,
38 years old.
I think 7 saves. He was the one crying. He's the one
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Well, he gained 6 million Instagram followers after that game, so I think he's doing
Yeah.
just fine. They put him on the map.
Look, I tied one time. I came home. My dad whooped my ass. So we do it a little different in America.
It is different. I can't wait for the knockout stages. It is more fun. You get the shootouts. Like this part is just kind of bullshit, especially as you're betting. It's like, okay, I'm gonna, France tomorrow. I'm looking, I got my French shirt on, Senegal minus 250 favorites. I'm gonna take that. And then they're gonna tie
Yeah.
and I'm gonna be pissed. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? We're here.
Soccer betting, though, it 100% helps to understand the context, right?
Yep.
Like, if a team needs to go win, when we get to the end of the group stage, and there
Yep.
are teams that go, if we tie, we're not going to win,
Yep.
right? This all plays into effect. So I do like that about soccer betting is that it adds another layer of complexity.
Yep. The other thing I took from this is I think we're gonna talk about the food thing, which is awesome, but,
Yeah.
the stadium stuff is so sick too. Like, they were at Jerry's World in Dallas, and they were like
Jerry World, yeah.
everybody's, "Oh, they can't host a World Cup. They can't host a World Cup." And then they get there, and they're like, "What the fuck is this?" And we're all like, "Dude, this is an average Monday night. Like, you should see
Right.
this on Thursday Night Football. It's the same shit." Like,
Yeah.
it's just bigger, better. The takeaway I had, though, the grass, okay? Unbelievable. The grass looks incredible at all these different fields. The NFL is just fucking
They're using
yanking
real grass for
everybody's
all
shit.
these?
Dude, oh, pure grass, yeah.
Really?
Bermuda Triangle grass, whatever the fuck it is. It looks great. And there's been not really that many complaints. That was a big thing. It's like, oh, you're going to put sod down. The commentators can't shut up about how good the grass is. The best grass they've ever seen, potentially. Every NFL team, what do the players want? They want grass.
They want grass.
They could easily do it, apparently, and they're just like, "Fuck you." Apparently, because it looks like it's where I know it's working though, and it's not getting torn up at all. Like football will tear it up a little more for sure, no doubt.
Yeah.
But the
No doubt.
pitches it looks like a FIFA game out there. It's just pristine.
Pristine. Bingo.
Yep.
Jinx.
Yep.
Yeah. I think, like you said, we've got a lot going on
Yeah.
in America right now. There's a lot of stuff going on, but hey, it's all working. We see the Twitter accounts of the international people coming in,
Yep.
trying out Bucky's, trying out, Denny's, Cracker Barrel, you name it, they're trying it, blown away. They go, how do Americans get this all the time? Also, why are all the Americans fat everywhere I go?
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, the two play together,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah. That
If
biscuits and
I if
gravy,
I
it's not
l-
free.
if I was from fucking Cape Verde, I'd be 125 pounds. Right? I wouldn't eat anything.
They
So,
have that Nobunaga guy. Have you seen him? This I
mm,
feel this got sniped. The part of my take comes out before us. It's about the same audience size. So
yeah, they take all of our stuff anyway.
it's disappointing. But Big Cow's talking about this account, and I've been following this account for 2-3 weeks now. This guy started before the World
Oh
Cup,
wow.
so I don't think this has anything to do with like a Japanese guy coming to the U.S. for the
Oh,
World
he's
Cup.
already been
I
doing it.
think he's been doing it. I'd have to look back and see when it started, but this guy's account is unbelievable. And they read it on the show today, but so I won't read the same stuff, but like it is hilarious. Like his account and talking about like American culture, and he was talking about, different places he's been and different stuff he's had. The one that they read today was about chips and salsa, but this guy's
Oh
account is
yeah. The
it's
chips and
so funny.
salsa one is so good. I
That's
saw
this
that
guy's
one.
account. It's an electric follow.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what the World Cup's all about, right? The
Yep.
World Cup is supposed to be like, hey, we're going to host this thing and we're going to try to show off these are the things that we're good at. We want you to get a taste of our culture. And like everybody's been saying, America, we're great at glutton.
Yep.
We've figured it out. We figured out when you want to live like kings, here's all the recipes. And yeah, we do a good job.
Also, the ticket prices is big complaint. They're too expensive. Well, there must be a
Yeah,
lot of rich people across the world because that shit's packed. Every game I've
every
watched
time.
is just packed. So I don't. Yeah, the tickets were probably expensive because they were sold out, and the guy from Netherlands is paid $300 for his ticket. He's like, I'm not selling this fucking thing unless you give me 10 grand, then I'll sell it. But dude, the fan base is and they're all embracing like it's the best. It's the best. In a time when there's a lot of turbulence, it just feels, it's corny or whatever, but like the kumbaya shit around around the soccer, it's fun. Like there's a lot of like good spirited fun. Sports does that. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I really enjoy it every time. It gives me a chance to dive into soccer. Used to be into soccer back in college, like
The
playing
FIFA days,
FIFA.
yeah.
Kind of lost it, but right now I'm all in for it.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. You know who else is in on it? Jameis Winston. I don't know if
Yeah,
you saw. He was cleaning up the stadium. That's what Japan does after every game. They clean up the stadium, which is that. I mean, take the thing I just said about hosting an event and showing
right.
off your country. Japan, they take it to you.
Yep,
They go to your event and they say, "Hey, this is how we do things."
yep,
I've been to Japan. That's literally how they act every day, right? That's just what they do. But Jameis, he was back there packing it up,
yep,
cleaning up rows. We're talking about a guy that's probably got 70 million in the bank, something like that, right? And
yep.
yeah, and Alvin Kamara quote tweeted it and said, "This is not a public,
No,
like this is just him. This is what he does. You can hate on him all you want. At the end of the day, the dude is just so genuine and good guy. So shout out Jameis.
yep.
World Cup, you're still sticking with France at this point?
France, baby. They play tomorrow, so I'm hoping no
And
tie,
I'm
no
taking
tie.
Spain.
Yeah,
I'm taking Spain. So here we
yeah.
go.
Good luck. Good luck with that.
S-
We'll see.
Spain and Colombia as my flyer. Um,
You should
be
take
careful.
Spain to get out of the fucking group stage at this point.
Oh yeah. They'll be fine, dude. Watch when they play Cape Verde in the round of 8. You'll be like, oh wait, okay, those guys were pretty good actually. um, but be careful listening to my betting advice because I did say White House card. I said let's bet a lot of decisions because
Yeah, we
there's
didn't
gonna be
address this.
rain
We did not address
and
this. Oh for
no, yeah.
7.
Yeah, it was the first card ever to have every fight and then a knockout, which once again, movie type of script for the White House. But hey, we were expecting rain. We didn't get the rain. So
Yep.
all bets off, in my opinion.
I had one of
Joe,
the best betting weekends of my life Friday, Saturday, and then
you
Sunday I
did.
just got murdered on Sunday. Like absolutely could not pick a fucking fight to save my life. I picked Taporia knockout in the first 60 seconds in the last fight. I was like, I needed some heavy odds to try to claw back, and I was like just looking for something. It was not going my way. Yeah, and I took your advice, it was $10 to win 80 grand to have every
Yeah.
fight finished by decision. Not that crazy. Could have happened. Well, it didn't. 0 for 7.
Just need a little rain. All
Yeah.
right.
They'd
So
switched the weather on us.
yeah, I unfortunately I did not send any prayers for rain or anything like that. And the big guy upstairs said, "Hey, it's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be a
Yep.
clean night. We're
No
gonna have fun."
delays. No lightning delays for this.
Yeah, the only fucking delays were in between the fights, dude. That did
It
piss me
was
off. It was
long.
dragging on.
It was
It was
long.
dragging.
I know.
But
I would have fallen asleep. Trump was asleep. I would have fallen asleep too.
yeah.
Fucking 80 years old. You shouldn't be running the country, and then he has to sit through that. Luckily,
Yeah,
the
and
last
over
couple
there it
fights were
was like
good.
midnight.
Dude, if
Yeah.
the last couple fights were a snoozer, he would have been out in his chair.
Yeah. It was an awesome week and can't wait to see what this week has in store for us, but appreciate everybody stopping by. And next week is actually my bachelor party. So if we do get an episode, it's probably not going to be till midweek because the boys are going to be drunk for probably like 6 days straight,
Yep.
even though it's only a 2-day event.
Yeah, you gotta taper when you get back. I've been telling you that's my taper
Yeah.
strategy. So I'm tapering now until the weekend hard, and then you gotta taper back off after the weekend. So it's 3-4 beer minimum for a couple nights.
Okay.
Wean
On the
yourself
way
back.
out.
Yeah, yeah, yep. So
Well,
yeah, no
how do you
show.
like this? How do you like this strategy? I am the groom. Okay. So I'm going to drive up there. I'm driving 3 people. We're going to leave early in the morning, like 6:30 a.m. I'm going to drive up there 8 hours. Okay. I'm going
You
to make,
behind the wheel too. I mean,
I know. Well, I got to give them a little bit of a scare, get them going.
get the
But
juices
then
going.
on the way back, I'm thinking I shelf it to someone else, make them drive back so that I can
Correct.
drink all
Correct.
Sunday.
Yep. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's the
Right.
move. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. You can't drive yourself home.
No.
Yeah.
So that's where we'll be. Maybe we'll get an emergency pod at the batch party. We'll see. Last time we tried that didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
So
If we do it, it'll probably
one,
be the last episode we do.
yeah, exactly.
It'll be prison.
But if we don't see you next week, we will see you in late June.
Ole.